Nithyanandam Paramasukaram Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyarilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Satgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Swamiji Paramahamsa, and today I would like to talk about the Sannyas again. So in the series of Sannyas, and I just came across something really nice, which is 21 days, no, I'm sorry, not 21 days, 21 definitions of Sannyas as given by Swamiji. So just a reminder for all the people who are new to my channel and maybe watching this recording for the first time. I'm the Bhautika Brahmacharya of Nithyananda order, so which means that I'm striving and aiming to become a Purna Sannyasi at some point. And Bhautika Brahmacharya is the first initiation which we receive on our way to Purna Sannyasi. And or if you are new to Hindu tradition, that means a Hindu monk. And so today, as I said, I would like to just talk about the definitions as given by Swamiji of a sannyasi. So if you ever thought about becoming sannyasi, if you ever thought about the monastic life, it's and if you happen to be from a Western tradition, it's a completely different story. So nothing to compare. I remember I was born and brought up in Poland, in Eastern Europe, and I remember seeing nuns. So we had a little convent in a town when I was born and brought up, and I remember the nuns walking around, and yeah, I didn't have much contact with them. Either way, I never was really inspired for some reason. And also, I talk about it in the earlier video, that yes, that whereas born and brought up into the Catholic family, not practicing, so maybe that's the reason. I'm laughing here. Yes, I never was. The system never appealed to me. So, and when I first time came in contact with Hinduism, when I first time went to India in 2014 to do the inner awakening, suddenly a whole new world opened, a world of joy, a world when you are communing with the divine. Your communion with the divine is basically the lightness, the most beautiful energy, the sounds, the smells around the whole rituals, and you being in a temple, or obviously Swamiji as the Sanatana Hindu Dharma representative, the authority of the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, bringing the richness into the inner awakening, bringing the richness, the deities even to the program. I mean, now the program is happening in Birdi, in Bangalore Adinam, so that's a difference. But however, Swamiji was bringing his deities to Varanasi, for instance, where the programs were regularly happening as well in Awakening in North India. Amazing place. And yes, and I remember when I saw at one point Nithyanandeshwara and Nithyanandeshwari, so two main deities from our temple has been taken to Varanasi. And I remember they had this tiny little corner, and they are absolutely mighty statues. And when I saw them, when I sat there, it was just such a beautiful experience of overflowing this something you can't express, but you know, when you feel so good, when there is this loving, joyous arms embracing you. So this is what I felt. And I remember also there was this amazing hall. So there was a time when the inner awakening in Varanasi was happening in one place, which was the Surya Hotel. And also when Swamiji installed other deities in the kind of a hall or a room adjoining the main awakening hall. And also they are so beautifully dressed. it's absolutely difficult to describe, because also I remember that I was living for some time in London as well, and my first contact, I think, when I went for the first time in a Hindu temple, and it was in the northeast London, Neasden, and one of the most, I think, the newest temple built, very famous, very rich. However, when I entered the temple, I really, maybe because I was new, maybe because I didn't know how to associate with deities at the time, but I could not connect. Maybe I could not connect because I just saw like a dead statues there, which also didn't appeal to me on an aesthetic level. And here in Swamiji, when he does the prana pratishtha, when the deities emanate this amazing energy, when you can basically feel them, feel the overflowing energy, and you can, if you're receptive enough, if you're asking questions, then you can answer. And the beauty with which they are being dressed, being presented, so the richness is just a treat. It's just a real treat for the eyes, for the senses. So I was going to talk about something else, but yes, so that's aside information. So if you've never been to Hindu temple, please do go, because it's amazing. And a sannyas. So yeah, so the sannyas. And I will come back just to the 21 definitions, because they are also amazing. And the whole concept of a sannyas, the whole the space which the sannyas is being directed to be in, which radiates and live and express, is also so beautiful. Is for me so idealistic. I remember I was living with those ideals for a very long time, and suddenly I found it. I found the space, and I found the place, and I found the Guru, or the Guru found me, because apparently we never. This is the Guru. The Guru calls you even if you are not aware of it. So if he wants to see you, you will see him. So the 21 definitions as per Swamiji, our beloved Guru Paramahamsa Nithyananda, the avatar. So the first one, sannyas, is experiencing the ultimate truth of Brahmanyam Brahupurtam, which is I am the favorite inheritor of the cosmos. And when you think about it, I am the favorite inheritor of the cosmos. Your father, so Swamiji, the Guru, becomes your father and mother, your family, when you take the initiation. So the renunciation happens on the societal level. And you are the favorite inheritor of the cosmos, someone who represents the pure consciousness, who is the pure consciousness, who can change the trajectory of human's life. Is your father and mother. It takes care of you, teaches you. It's pretty amazing. Number 2 definition. Sannyas is renouncing what you don't have. Your lack of integrity, inauthenticity, irresponsibility, lack of enriching yourself and others, and living with what you have. Integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching yourself and others. So this refers to 4 tattvas. And every time when Swamiji is talking about these amazing qualities of 4 tattvas, and he says, very recently he was speaking during the satsang for quite some time about the integrity, and he said, actually you don't have to learn it, because it's within you. You are integrated, but the question is to what? And that's quite a question, that we are integrated. Every single moment we are integrated to something, but the question is to what? Very good question. So I encourage you to, at some point, to find out what are you integrated to. Sleeping, or being alive, joy or being depressed. And it goes on and on. Very interesting. And actually, what he said, you can switch. So, and also what Swamiji is saying, with the same decision, with the same key, you open the door or close the door. With the same key, you can open. So if you made a decision, okay, I'm kind of being inclined to sleeping long for many hours, especially on weekends until midday, then you can switch and you can change. You can make a decision and use exactly the same key, the decision, to make a change and switch to Nithyananda Yoga at 4 in the morning, for instance. So the Sannyasi, definition of a sannyas number 3, reclaiming your tasteful life is sannyas. And here reclaiming the tasteful life. And when I think about my Guru, the words which I hear from him every single day, the energy he's infusing me with, the words which inspire, the words which are taking me to a completely different level in space, the techniques which we are using, suddenly you are experiencing, you are finding, discovering a new dimensions of life which you never knew before, because you've been thinking about your family, yourself, and you haven't been thinking about your neighbors. I'm not saying everyone, however, this is quite common in today's society. So a new tasteful life, a new pleasures, a new senses, or maybe not sexual pleasures, but the pleasures which comes from a completely different space, the space of the connection with the divine, which is absolutely fulfilling, which brings so many inspirations and so much beauty into your life and so much joy and excitement. So, next one. Aligning your thinking to the ultimate possibility is sannyas. Aligning your thinking to the ultimate reality is sannyas. And Swamiji again, what I found amazing also in the Hindu tradition and here in Swamiji's teachings also, is that you can actually learn and get to know who you are and how you function. And with this, when you get to know that actually your thinking, your thoughts, your thought trends and your thought currents have as such a huge impact on you, you start to change them. You start to pay attention. You start to be aware. And Swamiji had an absolutely amazing webinar, and this was about the karma. Talking a lot about the breaking the karma, about the breaking the thought trends and thought currents. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. There may be quite a few recommendations in this video. And next one, 5. Awakening all the various powers in you is sannyas. Awakening all various possibilities in you is sannyas. And especially today, when Swamiji introduced and initiated us into the powers, into the Shaktis actually. Shaktis which are the results of being in Shaktipada with the Master, and the feeling connection, which end with the blindfold reading, with the materialization, with body scanning or remote viewing. And again, it's a new dimension of life you may never have experienced. And this happening for many people, not only sannyasis actually. Swamiji is initiating everyone who is attending our programs. So, but when you think about the sannyas is a different connection with the Master as well. So, next one. Awakening you to you is sannyas. And the awakening you to you, I don't want to say about anything here. I don't want to say anything here because it is awakening you to you. That suddenly you start to get to know yourself, who you are, start to connect to yourself on a much deeper level, which brings, again, an enormous sense of fulfillment with yourself. And I can just say that the right Master is an amazing teacher, and we got the absolute blessing to have someone like that. 7. Sannyas is experiencing, expressing and radiating the four powers. Power of word, power of thinking, power of feeling, and power of living. So again, this refers to the four tattvas, which is integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and reaching. An amazing, 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 underestimate, not liked, avoided qualities in the secular life, in life in general. And yet, when we start to imbibe them, when we start to contemplate on them and understand, it's incredible. That actually responsibility, when you get rid of all the presumptions and assumptions and the wrong perception of your parents, family, surroundings, co-workers, the integrity empowers you. The responsibility empowers you. Authenticity brings you such a pleasant feeling with yourself when you don't lie anymore, when you basically be authentic towards yourself and other people, when you start to be enriching to the world, enriching to the people, enriching to yourself. It's just joy. And next one, Sannyas is being in the highest space of possibility, positivity, leadership, and enlightenment. So again, Swamiji advocates and talk about more and more, or over and over again, about a space of possibility. And again, not being in this space basically creates a misery. We are heavy beings when we are being stuck in impossibility. When you know that anything is possible, and this is so seen in a Gurukul. Gurukul is the ancient educational system which Swamiji revives from the Vedic tradition. And he's got over 100 children in Gurukul now, and amazing results in terms of the education. They are above 2 to 3 levels above their peers, not to mention the sharpness of their mind, not to mention their flexibility and yogic bodies. I had a contact with someone who I thought, okay, the person, and this is a teenager, 16-year-old teenager, and she doesn't. I've got our dog in here, who is from time to time. Oh, another is coming. They are just love to be filmed. They love to be filmed. Yes. Okay. So okay. Say hello. So the space of possibility. So when you know that something is possible, and remember that whatever you believe, it basically happens. And this is our beliefs are changing our world. This is our beliefs that basically brings us what we want to bring. So, yes, so space of possibility is amazing. If you forget about it, you need to remind yourself. And that's why the space of sannyas, the life of sannyas, the lifestyle of sannyas is imbibing every single day and remembering about those qualities, about those definitions. So the next one. 9. Sannyas flowers when the cognitive shift happens in you to simply manifest your reality. And the next one, 10. Sannyas is being established in the space of leadership with no created restrictions of your own mind, like the limiting feeling of powerlessness, fear, jealousy, imposed limitations of your body as taught and conditioned by society. So we know what our parents, and we are lucky if we've got inspiring parents, and I'm sure that everyone does at some level. Our parents are inspiring. However, I'm talking about the inspiration, about the level of having the parent as an enlightened being, who've got an access, who basically mastered, who allow his consciousness to expand to the level of pure consciousness. What can I say? It's basically a completely different dimension, completely different story, which I'm striving for, and yet I'm just thinking about it. But this is an experience. Swamiji actually gives an experience of enlightenment in awakening. And I had a privilege to experience something absolutely amazing during the death experience. And obviously during the darshan you feel absolutely overflowing bliss, and and joy, and you are ecstatic. Actually, it's the ecstatic, and this is also the space of the sannyas, being ecstatic, the ecstasy of life, the ecstasy of being, the ecstasy of breathing. Okay, next one. 11. Sannyas is living in the ultimate space of high energy and creativity, every moment as a lifestyle. 12. Dispelling the darkness in your being in every possible way is sannyas. So this really refers here also to completion. So we are the seeking. The seeking in sannyas has to be present. So basically you are effortlessly, continuously looking inside when there's something happening. When you are not in the space, you are looking for reasons for how and what is happening. So next one, 13. Drinking nectar and remaining in samadhi is sannyas. 14. Cognizing the right reality is sannyas. Cognizing the right reality. And they are such a beautiful definition which direct you on the different aspects and different areas of the sannyasi and its life. 15. Your decision to evolve is sannyas. And this is what Swamiji is saying, a constant expansion and constant evolution. And he said, I remember in one of the satsangs where he said that even an enlightened being is constantly expanding. And we think that he doesn't. That basically once you achieve enlightenment, whether however we understand, however we define it, it's the end, it's the ultimate, it's not. So this is just a point in your existence. So, and it's very exciting if you think about it. It's not the end. Actually, if you think this is the end, you may think, okay, well, why should I rush? If this is the end, then no point of rushing. But this is maybe not about the rushing, but knowing that there is more behind it, that there is more after it. Then it changes also the perception that brings the curiosity. So what's next? Where is it going? 16. Your declaration to liberate yourself from all the illusions and delusions in sannyas. And what's better than living in a reality? What's better with reality, that the reality actually brings you a freedom, an absolute freedom, that you know that whatever is happening around you is basically based on the patterns very often. And you don't take things personally anymore. You know what reality is, and you strive to live in a reality at the same time. 17. Not allowing the social ignorance to enter your garbhagriha, innermost consciousness, is sannyas. 18. Being in a state of completion is sannyas. And that's, again, completion is if you are new, completion is an amazing technique as given by Sadasivaa. And Swamiji teaches along the initiating people, manifesting powers right now. And but still completion is something that would bring so much, which is the very important and such an important component of human life and existence. 19. Never allowing powerlessness in your inner space is sannyas. And this is something what I could not understand for a very, very long time. Because of my upbringing and my Put Ashram family, where there was quite a lot of powerlessness. And if you don't know what powerlessness is, I didn't actually. I thought that basically, I didn't really have an idea. I didn't really think about it was powerlessness. I didn't thought of what is powerfulness. And I thought that actually powerfulness is just being able to deal with the difficult situations. Because there were a few difficult situations. And yet, powerlessness have so many faces. There will be irritation, there will be jealousy, there will be anger, there will be frustration. And this is all powerlessness. So imagine a powerful space of joy and bliss and ecstasy, of excitement about the life, about yourself, about every single day when you wake up in the morning, and you are just full of energy, ready to conquer the world, ready to face whatever there is to face with joy and excitement. So, and powerfulness, such an important quality, absolutely amazing, and I'm still developing it, I do admit. 20. Living to your peak possibility is sannyas. And this is what Swamiji says also over and over again. To live in a peak of possibility. To basically not selling yourself for small. Not living with the least resistance. But basically to be opening, to evolve and expand, and to the peak of your possibility. So whatever you think is possible for you, go for it. And why you may think, okay, oh, that sounds pretty crazy, why would I? And yet, when you think about the Swamiji space, when I think about Swamiji space and the environment, the Vatavarana, which he creates for us, it's incredible. When you are open to expand, when you are open to, reach the stars, as we say in the West, when you are open to reach your dreams, he just creates everything you need for you to experience it, for you to get it. And that's something you will never get in the outer world. Yes, of course, there's many successful people. Of course, there's accounts of an amazing, amazing, amazing human beings who achieved a lot. But here, it's like a playground. Yes, we do carry his mission. Yes, we do seva. Yes, we do serve the society and the community in various ways. And yet, you can expand. You can basically pick up your passions and expand with your passions. Evolve with your passions. And that's something you will not get anywhere else. Nowhere. So Bengaluru Adinam is the Kailasa, the highest space possible to live in. So highly, highly recommend. If you've never seen Swamiji, please go and see him. Please do attend Inner Awakening, because you will be surprised by who you are. You'll be surprised what you can do. You'll be surprised what you can achieve. You'll be surprised what the life can look like, what life can experience, what the life can taste like. And the last one, 21, you living in the space of completion and continuously enriching everyone to be in the space of completion is sannyas. And this is one of the most beautiful also definitions and qualities I know, because what's better than the harmony in the world? And I know, and Swamiji was saying also in the satsang, what's better? That some people basically just waiting in the morning to have a fight with someone or argument. And yet the completion space, which is very often, I think, underestimated. Of course, we've got a different outlook, what is attractive, what is not, and what's good to do, what's not, what's fun to do and it's not. And yet the completion space is one of the most beautiful spaces you can live in. When you are in the presence of Swamiji and he is living and expressing, experiencing the perpetual completion, it's such a... you can't take your eyes from him. And the whole of your being is just soaked and absorbing this absolutely amazing energy. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. And a huge invitation, if you ever thought about becoming a monk, if you ever thought about the sannyas, if you ever thought about experiencing an awakening, then a huge, huge, huge and warm invitation to Bengaluru Adinam, to see the avatar, to see Paramahamsa Nithyananda, who is a living incarnation. Thank you very much for watching. Nithyanandam.